What is going on, guys? Smooth Racing here, back with a brand new video, and today we have our top 5 things to watch out for at this weekend's Italian Grand Prix, the 13th round of the F1 2014 season. So we start off then at number 1, and that is Hamilton versus Rosberg has reached fever pitch. These two drivers going head to head at this weekend's Italian Grand Prix, with 29 points separated in the Driver Championship. Hamilton has everything to prove and everything to lose. He really needs to just throw it all in there at this weekend's Italian Grand Prix. We're only 7 rounds to go. He really needs to get his act together and start winning races. He hasn't won a race in Silverstone, and even more crucially, he hasn't got a pole position since round 5 in Spain. And Rosberg has stolen the last 4 pole positions, and a couple of them on true and raw pace. Rosberg, no doubt, of course, beyond doubt, has done an amazing job this year. He's capitalised on Hamilton's mistakes and has been uber consistent with, amazing to see that 4th position is actually his lowest finish. Meanwhile, of course, Hamilton, his lowest finishing position is 3rd, but crucially, he's had 3 retirements to Rosberg's 1. So then, of course, like I said, 29 points separate them. Of course, it's reached fever pitch because Hamilton has, said Rosberg did it on purpose, but of course this is not official, and personally it was only a racing incident, and the FIA or Mercedes should not punish Rosberg. But even still, Hamilton will be annoyed, after no punishment, and Rosberg will be feeling the pressure now because he's got the, all the eyes of the media on him, and of course all the Hamilton fans give him loads of hate probably on Twitter, and the hashtag ban Rosberg actually trending on Twitter is not right, and it was a silly racing incident, and Rosberg should not be banned for that, or even giving a grid drop or anything like that. But anyway, let's get on with number 2 then. And this track really does suit Red Bull. Red Bull arguably do have the best race car, possibly even matching or even beating the Mercedes on its day, especially with Ricciardo and Vettel at its wings. No pun intended. Vettel will hopefully be, doing a really good Grand Prix this weekend. He really needs one to get one over Daniel Ricciardo. He's totally outperformed him. And you could say Vettel's seat is slightly under pressure. Now he's been outperformed, but I don't think they'll be really wanting to sack him. I think he does need to improve though next year, because you got the likes of Danny Fiat and of course even Max Verstappen knocking on the door for 2016. Of course, as we know as well, then Williams should also have a good car. Although I do think probably 3rd in the pecking order, with Ferrari 4th. Red Bull definitely looking like they have a really good race car. So you have to ask yourself, if Red Bull had the Mercedes engine, what could they do? But in terms of power and overtaking, Red Bull had a really good car in terms of overtaking. Ferrari looked very vulnerable, so expect them to be overtaken a lot. Despite Alonso and of course the resurgent Raikkonen after his great result in Spa, they'll both, the 2 Ferraris will be hoping they can get on the podium in front of the Tifosi. Number 3 is qualifying is crucial, as overtaking is so hard around this track. Overtaking, of course, as I mentioned, is very difficult. So, of course, getting a good grid start and getting on pole position will be really crucial for either Hamilton or Rosberg, most likely. And, of course, if Bottas or even Ricciardo can split the 2 Mercedes, or even, get on pole position, that'd be crucial, because it's quite a good track to defend at. And, of course, we saw the Toro Rosso of Sebastian Vettel, winning here in 2008. It would be, not that surprising if he managed to get into top 3 qualifying, but it's just race pace that's been really disappointing this year, so we'll have to see. Can Red Bull finally give him a good strategy, and can Sebastian Vettel get on the podium for the first time since Canada? We'll have to see though. And moving on to our 4th point, and that is lap 1 drama. We saw in 2011, most famously in recent history, of course, that major collision between Lewis, I think Senna, and another driver. We could definitely see more drama. I think Paul di Resta crashed out last year, so with so many cars bunching up on lap 1, and maybe after a safety car restart, there's sure to be contact. So I'm almost guaranteed that someone will lose a bit of the front wing, and maybe even someone will crash out. But watch out for Felipe Massa. Number 5 then is that Caterham will probably be renting out Kamui Kobayashi's seat. I can't see him returning for the Italian Grand Prix. Either Lotterer will come back, or more likely Roberto Murray has been linked to the seat, quite strongly linked, so expect him or another paid driver to be taking up that seat. And Marcus Ericsson, of course, has a point to prove after being beaten in qualifying by Lotterer. Anyway, let's run down the Drivers' Championship then. Well, Rosberg leads from Hamilton, Ricciardo, Alonso, Bottas, Vettel, Hülkenberg, Button, Massa, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Perez, Verne, Grosjean, Fiat, Bianchi is the final point scorer in 16th. Then it's Sittel, Ericsson, Maldonado, Gutierrez, Chilton and Kobayashi. Expect Sauber to be hoping to score. But don't expect a lot of retirements really in Monza. There's never that many, although someone would probably crash in the Parabolica and ditch it in the gravel. But of course we've only got half of it is run off now, so that should definitely help him. The constructors is Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, Williams, McLaren, Force India, Toro Rosso, Lotus, Marussia, Sauber and Caterham. Closest fight being between Ferrari and Williams, and for third place that should be very close, and McLaren and Force India for fifth, which for just 2 points separating them. You think McLaren do have the edge at the moment. Force India have been off in recent races, but still Hülkenberg and surprisingly Perez seems to have the upper hand on him now in the past couple of races. He's still picking up the points and doing a really, really good job. And Perez has done a great job this year and getting that podium in Bahrain, but Hülkenberg so desperately desires. So Hülkenberg definitely needs to be up there trying to get a podium, because his teammates got one now, and he'll be hoping for one. He knows the car's capable of it. It just depends what kind of race it is, and maybe Singapore could be their best chance to get a podium, and of course for his first podium. Anyway, let's make a quick prediction before rounding out the video then. And I'm going to go first place with Nico Rosberg, followed by Lewis Hamilton, Danny Ricciardo on the podium. In fourth place, I'm going to put Fernando Alonso in front of his home crowd. Felipe Massa's luck will change, I think, as he'll go fifth. I think. Actually, I'm going to go back and change that. I'm going to go Rosberg, Hamilton, Bottas, Ricciardo, Massa, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen in 8th, Sergio Perez in 9th, and Kevin Magnussen will nick the last point in 10th position, with anyone I haven't mentioned crashing out. Now I think it'll be around probably 20 finishes. There should be quite a lot of finishes. Sauber will be hoping to sneak into the points, but that's probably quite unlikely. Anyway, obviously racing then, and I'll see you guys next time. Be sure to leave your top 3, 5 or even 10 if you really want to predictions down in the comments for this weekend's Italian Grand Prix. I'm Racing, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.